Good morning, everybody. Just stopped at Bantam Roasters to get my morning cup of joe. It's a late day for me, so I'm starting late. Gotta go into the studio to edit more shows that were supposed to come out today, but I just did not have the time. We've been unpacking all week. Oh man, what a bitch. But that's how it goes. By the way, the intent of this video is to show people the beautiful and historic landscape of Gettysburg and the surrounding areas. Let me get my camera adjusted there. Hello, Michael. Hello, Andy. Hello, Maji. How are you? And Aussie Grant's Abandoned Baby. How are you guys? I'm going to try to do a short video today because I do have a lot of stuff that I need to cram into my day today. I'm going to be interviewed on the Three Guys podcast tonight. I was on it, I want to say it was back in, I don't even know when it was, but I was on it before. It might have been over the winter, I think. And there's some pretty fun guys. And it's nice because it's not a history podcast. And I like being interviewed. It doesn't happen very often. I'm the one usually doing the interviewing. But I like when the table is turned. And these guys are pretty fun to talk to. They're up in Connecticut and I want to say Rhode Island. But if you haven't heard their show, give it a listen. It's Three Guys Podcast and whatnot there. Hey, Josh, how are you? Brad, hello. Jennifer, how are you, Jennifer? So where do we want to go on the battlefield today? Like I said, I'm going to do a short drive, so I'm not going to go everywhere. So answer me before I get to the square. We're almost at the square. We got a block. Oh, good. You got a red light. It's going to buy you some time. But where would you like to go today? What would you like to see? Phil says East Cavalry Field. All right, Phil, you were the first to answer. Well, actually, Michael was, but yeah, all right. We got 2 for East Cavalry Field, and that's where we're going to go. East Cavalry Field. Yes, it is a beautiful day, Michael. It's a beautiful day for anything you could do outside. It's why I'm avoiding going into the studio. One thing I miss about being in a shed, although, I don't know, well, yeah, today's going to be pretty decent. The one thing I miss about being in the shed is that I had the doors on both sides of the shed open when I would work in it, if it was a nice day. That fresh air and sunlight really helps. So that's the only thing I really miss about being in it. Plus all the jokes about working in a shed. That's good stuff too. Marge says, can you see the triangle from the road? What triangle are we talking about? Jennifer says, good, glad to see you this morning. So awesome, you're doing this drive this morning. Well, thank you. I'm glad you appreciate that. 75 and out. What? Good morning, Gene, how you doing? By the way, have you all signed up for the Christmas party yet? So we have an invitation list, an invite list that after last year, of course, I'm one of these people that don't really get all the good ideas until I'm in the moment. So for example, like our last show of the year on AG Today is usually a Christmas show, but it's hard for me to think of Christmas when it's not Christmas. And then I get the idea and it's too late to do anything. So I try really hard to come up with Christmas crap beforehand, but since I hate the holiday, it's really, hard to do. So There's that. But like the Christmas party last year, I had, while we were there, I go, oh man, I should have invited this one and that one and this one and that one. And then I said to Cindy, I go, we got to start making a list of people to invite, and let's just base it off of who's been on the show. So so we went back. Of course, we didn't start the list when I said to start it. We thought of it about a month ago. So we started compiling a list, going back and looking at all the shows that we recorded, and not even the ones that are out yet, but just the ones that we recorded. And we invited we have all the guests on an invitation list. We haven't sent out the invitations, but I put the link for everybody to sign up out first, and I'm surprised it's filling pretty quickly. And I said to Cindy, I go, I think we need to call them and say that we need bigger space, because we're going to take up the whole restaurant. We're not going to be able to just stick in that one area, which is good. So we should have fun. We should have fun. Andy's still working on the spouse to get to the Christmas party. Hey, Andy, it's a free country, you know. You want to come to the Christmas party, you come to the Christmas party. Period. Gene hates Christmas too. Glad I'm not the only one. Yeah. You know, I liked it when I was a kid, as I think most kids do. I don't know. Adults that especially adults without children, like myself, who like Christmas, I kind of like adults who love Disney. A little suspect. I wonder what's wrong. What happened? What happened to you? What are you holding on to? I tease, but I don't. No, what I don't like, I wouldn't mind Christmas if it was one day. Like Thanksgiving. I don't mind Thanksgiving. It's one day. It's not a season. But Christmas, it's a month, and it keeps getting longer. A month and a week, a month and two, a month and a half, a month and 3/4, and then it's 2 months, and Christmas music and Christmas this and Christmas that. By the time Christmas comes, I'm converting, you know? If you have a problem with any holiday, just think of it as another day with a name on it. I do. And then my family gets mad at me because I don't want to do anything. They're like, why don't you want to come up for Christmas? It's like, because. Top of the morning to you there, David. Do I celebrate Festivus? I would if I had a group of friends who were into, an alternative way of doing things. Like, I like the idea of a Friendsgiving, as they call it, where you get together with your friends and stuff. Because, you can keep it local, not driving 4 hours to do a Friendsgiving. You keep it local. You get the turkey and whatever. I love a turkey dinner. But you only have it really once a year. So any excuse to have a turkey dinner twice in 1 year, I can handle that. But no, what I'd rather do, and this is something I've talked about with my father too, because he was a business owner, and I remember, when I was a kid, he worked really long hours. It seemed like it was 9 to 9 every day except for Thursday he had off, and then Sunday was like a 5-hour day. And that, for years, I remember it being that way. And so when he had time off, he didn't want to go do something. He wanted to rest. And frankly, I think it came to a point where he just needed to rest. And I tell him, I was talking to him not too long ago about this, and I said, I can totally relate to you now, because when I have time off, I don't want to go do something. I don't want to go away. I want to go to bed. I want to just go, what the hell have I just been through? And then steel myself to go through it again when my time off is over. And I don't think a lot of people with a 9 to 5 get that. I think everybody, with a 9 to 5, like, your responsibility is different than the business owners. And so, like, you don't have worry like a business owner does. Not that you don't have worry, but it's a different kind of worry. And like, you're worried about keeping the jobs so that the business they run at home, which is your household, can continue. The business owner is worrying about, his business making enough money to pay you, and maybe hopefully something will be left over for him. So it's a different kind of worry, and it's a 24/7 worry. There is no scheduling it. And I don't think people who don't experience that really, really fully grasp it. Like, when a weekend comes, and if you actually have off on the weekend, you don't want to go to the beach. Like, you want to just, I mean, some people do, but a lot of people I know don't. They just want to hide. So holidays for me are, I would just rather do nothing. And it's not that I don't like the people. It's not that I don't want to be around the people. It's just that I'm so drained that the energy that it takes to be around people is, I have to really drag it out of me. And then I got, there's nothing left in the well. And then there's no rest. So whatever, it's life. It's how it goes. You got your holidays, you got no energy. Next thing you know, you're retired, you got nothing but time and unbridled energy. And you're like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, nobody's around, everybody's dead. So, whatever. I don't really complain this much. It's just I need to fill dead air. T-Man, we're on East Cavalry Field now. That's where we are. David says Thanksgiving is a superior holiday. It's definitely my favorite meal. Nothing like a good old turkey dinner. Although my sister does a good meal at Christmas, but it's not turkey because my brother-in-law doesn't like turkey. So we have usually like filet mignon or he used to do prime rib, which he did really well, but I don't think my mom likes prime rib. So I think we stick with the filet mignon, which I love. But nothing shoots me back to being a kid like a turkey dinner does. Yes, this country is beautiful out here. It is nice and quiet and expansive and pretty. And if you don't like the wide open spaces, you can go up into the mountains just 10 miles away and get lost up there. Europe is always beautiful. Yeah, I would like to see parts of Europe before I kick off, but who knows if I'll ever get out there. I hate flying. I don't know. I hate the hassle of traveling by air domestically, and I can't imagine the hassle of doing it internationally. Then I'd have to get my passport again, and I let that expire like 25 years ago. So, there's a nonprofit, Swoot H2. It's not up and ready to be taking donations yet. We're getting the website and all that stuff together. It's not my nonprofit. It's a nonprofit someone did to support me, and others like me, but mainly me. But so I don't really have anything to do with it. Although I'm trying to help them come up with a name. Well, Kevin agrees with those who prefer Thanksgiving. There you go. Andy says, I volunteer at the mansion built by Governor Curtin's father. I live and breathe the history of the 19th century. Yes, you do. By the way, I got your letter written in 19th century hand. And respond, I will, Andy, I will. Beauregard, greetings to you as well. There we were. So went through East Cavalry Field. Sorry, I was talking about everything else. What else do you want to see? We got a little more time. I'm on 15 of 16 being on vacation. I always work the holidays, so I don't get too excited. Well, that's the other thing too. So I grew up. My father owned a liquor store, and once I was able to, I worked for him. And the Christmas season was insane. So like, I didn't give a shit about Christmas. I wanted the day off I didn't want to do anything. That's when I learned to really like, because that also coincided with me, learning. I was probably like 23, 24 when I learned there was no such thing as, well, I don't want to say it because I don't know who's listening. So like, I didn't like having to, now I what's that about? But nobody really liked that. And then the niece and nephew came along, and everybody showers them with gifts, and you enjoy seeing them, enjoy Christmas, and so it's kind of nice. But they're getting older now anyway. Well, he is. She can still enjoy it, but he's like, whatever. Touchdown Joe, we call him if you watch AG today. By the way, I got a video last night of him scoring yet another touchdown. Phil spent a couple of days in South Jersey for work last week. No one was as funny as Ralph Siegel, sadly. Yeah, Ralph is... South Jersey's like Delaware or parts of Pennsylvania. It's not really Jersey. Ralph is a unique South Jerseyan. Jennifer loves Thanksgiving and Christmas. Now you're just being greedy, Jennifer. You're just being greedy. Let's see. Did anybody answer where to go? Round Top Little. All right, Michael. We'll go to Round Top Little. Let me just put that in my GPS. Nope, nothing came. A little Round Top came up. I could do that. Let's do that. Sandra says, when Bo Brinkman was on with you Thursday, couldn't call in to ask about Gettysburg Christmas release. Yes, so it will be shown locally for the Christmas festival, I believe, at the Majestic. As far as a release, they missed the... See, Bo's not in charge of this, so it's really out of his hands. He could nudge them as much as he wants, but they're going to do what they're going to do when they want to do it. So the time to get that scheduled for release, bought and all that other stuff, or licensed, whatever the case may be, on the networks or wherever, has passed for this Christmas season. So they're hoping that, the owners of the film will get off their ass and do something for it next year. See, the thing about a lot of these films is some people invest in them as a tax write-off. And they don't want to make money. So, by the way, so those of you, when, I don't know, a certain Gettysburg podcaster says, hey, we've got this budget we need to make for this film that we're doing, or this video we're doing, and you're like, oh, God, I really need to lower my tax burden this year. Well, chances are you're not going to make any of that money back because, look at the big Hollywood films that flop. So, just keep that in mind. It's always a good tax write-off. Anyway, so it's not going to be anywhere you can see it except for here this year. So come on down. I should talk to him and see if we can get permission to do like a one-time only viewing party online, and we could make it free, but make it private. And then once it's up, it's up. But then once it's over, we take it down. So you either see it when we're watching it together, or you miss it. I'm gonna see if that would be possible. I doubt they're gonna say yes to that, but I know Bo would like that idea, because I know a lot of you guys can't get here for various reasons and would love to see this movie, and I think you should. Especially if you've visited here before, you would recognize a lot of the spots. And you know, it's a cute little Christmas movie, but it's a little different. By the way, the lead, Kelly Jekyll, if you've seen the movie Woman of the Hour, which just came out on Netflix, she's the girl who gets murdered in the opening scene. I know it's a weird thing, but she's fantastic in that movie, and I didn't know she was in it. And I turned the movie on, and I went in the other room to get a drink, and then the first voice I hear is hers, and I go, man, that voice sounds familiar. Who is that? And then I go out and I look, and it's her. And so, yeah, so she's in that movie now, which seems to be doing well. So hopefully that'll be good for her. And yeah, you'll get to see her in A Gettysburg Christmas. She was also in like Pitch Perfect, but I've never seen. Jennifer loves watching the Thanksgiving parade. You know, now, unfortunately, I don't believe I'll be able to live stream it, but we will be doing the Remembrance Day parade, and it will be lovely, and it'll come out. I'll put it out as soon as I possibly can. It's also the same weekend of the Lincoln Forum, but, you know, whatever, we'll do it. Next year, though, I'll make it so that I have the technology to live stream it. I mean, I could do it with the cell phone, but it'll look like shit. I've got 2 good cameras that I can live stream with. I just need the live streaming equipment, which is not cheap. So that's a next year thing. Spent too much money this year. At some point when you have my more time travel by cruise ships. As soon as I have more I will. David says, it's literally the only thing I like about Christmas, other than this year we're getting a golden retriever puppy. Our golden retriever, Bun, who loved Gettysburg, died in April. Sorry to hear that, but congratulations on the new puppy. That sucks. Goldens, I love Goldens, but they never last very long. Everybody I know that, like, I have relatives who like had like 2 or 3 Goldens in a row, but like, I don't know. I don't even know if any of them made it past 10 or very much past 10. And I hate seeing them go because they're such sweet dogs. Having a child makes Christmas magical. I get more out of making that holiday magical for the children. Yeah, see, that's the thing, is like, I could see if I had a kid, because I know my brother-in-law used to go nuts with the Elf on the Shelf displays. And my nephew would get up in the morning and just like get a kick out of the way, I forget what the elf's name was, but yeah, so like I get that. Michael, it's not technically a Hallmark film, but in the shorthand, it is. Who do we have to harass? I mean, right, to get a copy of the movie. I forget the guy's name. It's down in Texas. No, I don't think we would have copyright issues if we get permission to do it. What I would do is I would, if I could do it, we would do it as a like a live viewing. So, in other words, that might mean that like there might have to be director's commentary over it or something. So it's not like, I don't know. They're weird about it. So, all right, we're gonna go to Little Round Top, but we're gonna go via West Confederate Avenue. I'll see what I can do. It probably won't work. I'll most likely get a no. People are very reluctant to embrace internet technology or internet capabilities, I think, for their movies. Beauregard saw Woman of the Hour last night. Very good. Yeah, I started it. We haven't finished it yet. Andy says, as a write-off, I propose Bo works with Ghost of Sickles like yourself and Jim Hessler and Eric on Dan Sickles the Musical. That would probably be like The Producers, where you do it with the intention of it flopping, and then it actually makes a lot of money and you have to pay the taxes on it. Make it like Waiting for Guffman. I've always wanted to do a Waiting for Guffman-like movie. Actually, I did. It wasn't any good, but I did it. But I want to do a good one, I mean. Oh, so you might want to grab your tickets for CWI next year. I know a lot of it will be a tribute to P.D. Carmichael, but also the exciting, thrilling, exhilarating part of it will be that I will be on a panel. I don't know what the panel is about. I don't care. I'll wing it. But that was something that Pete and I were talking about before he died, and we never did figure out what it was going to be about exactly, because every time we had made a plan to get together for a beer to discuss it, he was not feeling well, and then you know what happened. But yeah, that should be fun. It should be fun. Yes, Andy. Martin Sheen will be part of the panel, and Tom Hanks. So we're on West Confederate Avenue now, for those of you wondering. Eric says, well, I was going to go to CWI again, but now... now you have the reason to go. How long did it take for the Park Service to restore Little Round Top? It was almost 2 years to the day. It was just shy of 2 years when they reopened, if I recall. Well, you would know. If you go back, I should know it too. On my YouTube channel here, I have the opening, the ribbon cutting ceremony, and that's when it reopened. So whatever day that was. If it's all original music for musicals, that's a good one. Musicals. I can't help. But if we are parodying known music, no, it's got to be original. We could do that. We could do that. I know enough people. David says, I actually haven't seen it yet. I'm really eager to get up there. Well, then you can get a little glimpse. Well, you can go watch the video and you can get a glimpse now, and then, yeah, come on up. Phil saw it on Monday, and it's impressive. Rob Abbott referred to Chamberlain as St. Joshua, had me howling. Yeah, that's his, it's funny, because it's like I don't want to say the tide is turning against Chamberlain, but, people refer to him as Jesus Lawrence Chamberlain or St. Joshua, kind of sarcastically. It's kind of a little bit of a pushback of the hero worship of the past, and I think that's healthy, because it was a little disproportionate before. And so now people are telling the stories of other heroes of Gettysburg who weren't necessarily so prominent after the war or such great writers. Maybe they didn't even live, like David Ireland. He shot himself to death the following year, I believe. I think it was 1964. We can threaten to pull our substantial Patreon memberships, cancel calendar, and get it trending. Yeah. Why would you do that? I fear that would be a very short campaign, because everybody would see that and overnight be like, oh, okay. And then you could come visit me in my cardboard refrigerator box. Andy calls him Colonel Darling. That's good. Okay. Sentimental feeling. Now, a fair warning as we go down to Little Round Top. I always lose service. So Yeah. So I lose service, but it comes back. So don't get impatient and click off. I don't know if it kicks you off or if you click off, but it will come back. So be patient, sit tight. It'll come back. Maybe it'll even come back when we're coming off of Little Round Top. I don't know, but stick around for the adventure. Because once we go into the Enchanted Forest here, things get dicey. Yes, Michael Scott was in. He was one of the members of the 20th Maine. Hey, Peter, you haven't caught one because I have quite a while. Been too busy with the house. Ty says Andy was talking about ways to bully sickles into existence. Just split. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, canceling the guy who's going to make it happen is not the way to make it happen. You get that? Gene says we had helicopters doing maneuvers overhead last week when they made an. So Lake Crawford is expanding. Okay, so you see, for those of you who haven't seen it, there's curbs here, so you can't park on either side of the road. There's crosswalks so that you can get like from the 83rd PA to the 20th Maine safely. And now there's there's so now we have a digital sign plus sandwich boards that say bus parking only, because the sandwich boards weren't enough apparently for the people to not park in the bus parking. And so now they have the digital sign. So far, it looks like only buses are here, so that's good. I haven't been up here in a while, so I don't know. But basically, everything is the same here, parking-wise. I say basically because basically it is, but ultimately it's not what we're used to. Here is more curbing, so you can't park down here. This is another bus parking pull-off area that cars are always parked in right in front of the sign. So they got a little bit of, feeling things out to do. But, it'll work itself out. All right, we move forward. Andy says, I wonder what the Union veterans would have to say about Lake Crawford. Well, whatever they would say, they would be told to shut up because the beavers are more important. Peter Zach says, there's no earthly way of knowing which direction. Oh, little Willy Wonka. Now I'm gonna have that song in my head. Thanks, Peter. Thanks. Now, allegedly, Charlie Fennell is going to be on AG Today on Thursday. But he's always hard to get a hold of, and he's forgotten a couple of dates this year. So we'll see. But he's going to come on like Jason Heilman did, and he's going to give his advice for people who are going to take the exam on December 10th. Also, last night we premiered the video version of Ask a Gettysburg Guide number 97, Jason Heilman, and it is about the history of guiding, which is actually pretty interesting. And don't think for a minute when you watch it, with the camera angles changing and everything, that I have a producer now. I don't. That was me editing it in between moving Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was changing the system I have records every camera on its own file, and then you put them all together, and then you can make your cuts wherever you want. So I had to go through the whole goddamn thing and make cuts. I like the way it looks, don't like the amount of work. It is not a smart use of my time. All right, and now as we leave the Pickett's Charge area, I'm going to go back into town, and then we're gonna go to the studio because it's time to get some work done. Normally I would take you over to Culp's Hill, but I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time today, but I will another day. Oh, and then on Patreon today, Ken Rich, I think it's Gettysburg's The True Cost of War or something like that. The toll that the war took on the civilians of Gettysburg, I believe is what it was about. I always love having Ken Rich on because he just knows so much stuff. But by the end of the recording, my head is spinning because it's such a whirlwind of information, and Ken goes a mile a minute that it's very hard for a slowpoke like me to keep up. So I think that's what it's about. I don't remember, but it'll be out later today. That's what I'm going to do now, is edit Patreon and then the audio version of Ask a Guide for the people that listen on podcasts only, and so on and so forth. You're welcome, Phil. Is anybody else's allergies acting up this week? Man, yesterday, no matter what I sprayed, no matter what pill I took, I could not breathe through my nose to save my life. If someone had their hand over my mouth, I would have died. Because I couldn't breathe through either one of my nostrils. Ragweed, definitely, yeah. Okay, so it's not just me. We're on beautiful Baltimore Street, BBS, if you will. Andy says, ooh, I remember telling one of my high school classmates, no one thinks about the after part of the Battle of Gettysburg and the civilians, and she went on to help, or to tell that story as a park ranger. Well, there you go. Yeah, I don't think it's solely the battle aftermath. I think it's the cost of the war on the civilians. So, who went off and joined up, and who died and didn't come back, and economic hardships that had befallen the town, things like that. So. There you go. All right, guys, I got to go and do this stuff here. Caitlin. Oh, Caitlin Brown. Andy, that's who you're talking about. Okay. I got to get going. You guys have yourselves a great day. See you on Thursday if I don't see you before. Rock on.